Hey, everybody, it's Joy,
And Tim, welcome to our next episode of
your AI Brew to Go, and we are on number 4. Can you
number
believe
four.
that?
That's amazing. It's
I know.
like a month.
It's been a month.
It's been a month.
Well, and this week we're going to talk about, last week we talked about defining your cohorts and speaking directly to them. And this week we're going to put that into application. So we're going to talk about how to create an engaging headline and caption for your social media. So I thought you had a great example about how you do that.
Right.
So we're going to start with you,
Oh,
Tim.
thank you,
How do you
Joy.
create a great headline
Well,
and a caption?
So what I do is what I use AI to create our social media content. So what I do is I'll give it an example. Like today's Tom Hanks' birthday. Happy birthday, Tom! And so we're doing this week we're doing posts about comparing Tom Hanks movies and roles to AI in small business. You should like us on LinkedIn and Facebook to find out. But today we did Castaway, and which I love that movie. And so I said, hey, write me a quick 130-word Facebook post about the movie Castaway starring Tom Hanks and how it can relate to a small business with that uses AI or can use an AI solution. And it wrote me a nice little post, except for it didn't mention the word or the Wilson, the ball, which I think is like one of the main characters of that movie. We wouldn't get that great quote Wilson that everybody uses at the park. Come on, you do it. I do it. We all use it. So I added that into the post, and then I said, after I got it all done, I said, now I need 10 great, engaging, and concise. Because one thing I've learned about AI, sometimes it's a little bit like me.
Wordy.
I was going to say a little bit like a rabbit hole. And that's a joke between Joy and I. We'll tell you it someday. And give me a concise one. And it gave me, 10 examples. Like one of them was have a ball with your small business and AI, which I thought was great. One of them was don't be isolated, get an AI solution. So
Good.
So it gave me some great, ones to use and great examples. So what I did is I kind of took those 10 and then I kind of did a little rewording on my own and say, would this be one? And I always get, I always wait till Claude, because I use Claude. Joy uses ChatGPT. I do that too. But I always wait till, this one is great, because I need that self assurance. And so then I posted it. And so that's the beauty of my goal is there. And the whole point is I use AI not as let's say the end all be all. I use it more of like a idea sparker.
Well, and that's one of the things we wanted to do with this podcast is to use Gary Vee's book, Day Trading Attention, and layer it with AI. And even though our business store, we promote it as AI generated, and it is, we also put our human touch into it. The reason why AI is so beneficial is the time saver.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we could come up with 10 great captions or titles or headlines, which might take us an hour, or we can do it in 30 seconds. So it's the combination of knowing that you need a great title, caption, headline to grab somebody's attention, but to do it efficiently.
Yeah, I go back to our next big event in September, AI in Reach. Mark your calendar. But remember when we were going through the title for AI in Reach, and if we did this, let's say a year and a half ago, we would have probably spent an afternoon trying to. And I think we're two pretty creative people.
Right.
But last April, it was February, right?
Right.
It took us 10 minutes. Joy jumped into ChatGPT. I jumped into Claude. We came up with, we said, here's what we're doing. And between the two of us and our large language model friends, we came up with AI Reach, which we love. I think it's one of the best titles we ever came up with.
Well, and the thing with using Claude and ChatGPT is we get the best of both worlds. And combining both those, especially on stuff that's so difficult, like there's just things that you get stuck on. You didn't sleep good that night. You don't feel creative on a particular day. By combining both and kind of creating from both assets, you really get the best of both worlds. And we know how important grabbing someone's attention is right off the bat. To hook them in to listen more is critical. And I was just listening this morning to Alex Hormozy about he spends, if he's creating content for an hour, and he used this as an example, he'll spend 50 minutes of that hour on the headline and trying
cool.
to generate attention. Now, he never brought up AI, so I don't know if he uses it or not. But the point is, the emphasis is on the beginning to get them to engage with your stuff. And that's why we wanted to talk about it, because I mean, I'm guilty of this, of just putting stuff out that I could have a better headline or could have a better caption, but it takes that extra time and effort. But if you use AI, it doesn't take nearly as long to grab somebody's attention with a great headline.
And I think that's the whole point of a good headline, and we all know it is to give the story and make people want to read it.
Well, and I think it's also focusing on somebody that you want to target. I mean, that's the whole point of cohorts, is narrowing down who you want to personalize your message to. And the headline ties into that. And the caption ties into that. Like, you have to make it to grab whoever you want to grab.
The other thing I love about AI, and when I'm creating my content or my headlines, is I know, Joy, this is going to be a shock to you, but I can be a little wordy. And there are times when Joy would say, that's a great idea. Now say it in 10 words instead of the 100.
We struggle with that. Not we.
No. it's all. But that's why I love AI, because I can say, take this, big long thing and turn it into this.
Yeah.
And I love that too. So it helps me. It sparks my imagination, and it sparks my ability to be brief. And so, it's a great tool. And like you said with AIBS, we're never going to shy away and tell people, no, we don't use AI. Yeah, we use AI in AIBS.
And you guys are the benefactor of that, because we can create great content, great images. We're working on creating great videos at a reasonable price. So we wanted to share about, if you're creating your content, how you can fold in AI so you don't have to spend all your time struggling with creating content. You can just get it done and get on with running your business. Now, the second part of our podcast is about what's happening in AI this week.
And this week, I don't want to say it was a slow week with AI. It was just one of those weeks as a small business person. It was about a lot of stuff that, it's stuff like they're making the it easier access for programmers and stuff. Well, as a small business, we really don't care. But what we do care about is time, ease of use. And that's where this comes in. How many of us are this is our main tool to run our business? I would probably say 70% of us.
Most.
Yeah. So my point is, the large language models, which are like ChatGPT, which are Claude, which we talked about today. Meta has one, and it's coming out and being more, and of course the ill-fated Gemini from Google. But we'll talk. Well, that's a conversation for another day. Are all trying to make it so that it's more transportable to these devices, to our phones, to our iPads, and that's a great accomplishment, because you're not going to have to lug your laptop everywhere. You can use your phone and still get the advantages of AI. So I think that's huge. and it's going to be our next generation. Is how powerful can we get it into our small little package?
Well, and to that point, I really didn't use the voice conversation ChatGPT until the latest release of ChatGPT. And now this is how I use it. And I did it this morning. So I'm working out at the gym and I'm listening to Alex Hormozy, and he said something that sparked interest in me. Well, by the time I get back, take a shower, get to my office, I'm not going to remember that. So as I stopped the video, I had my phone, I went to ChatGPT, I put in the microphone, and I made a note of it. And I wasn't even thinking like I wanted a response from ChatGPT. I just wanted to remember the thought I had. I hit enter, and it responded to me about the thought that I had. And I was like, God, this is like I'm working while I'm working out. I mean, how great is that? Which is more productivity, which is more efficiency, which is learning. I mean, there's just so many benefits to using the voice activated aspect of it and using it on your phone, because then the conversation is recorded. I came back when I got in the office, I printed it out, I made a note on how I want to do it. So a lot of times I have good ideas on the treadmill and I never remember them, even though I say, God, Joy, remember that. No, I never remember them. So now I just do it with ChatGPT on my phone, which is great.
And I'm sorry, but I think it's going to even be better now because ChatGPT is coming out with a better language model. That Claude's going to be right behind it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just going to be much easier. So pretty soon, it's going to be okay to talk to yourself because you're really talking to AI. All right.
Awesome.
Well, that was us for this week. Have a great rest of the week. We'll see you next week for a one-hand episode number 5.
Yay. Awesome.
Have a good week. We'll see you then.